हम समझते हैं इसको साधारण शब्दों में, इस महामारी में यदि हम अपने मन के ऊपर काम करते हैं शांति और प्रसन्नता के लिए, तो जीवन में परिवर्तन अभी से आ जाएगा। तो थोड़ा बहुत आज मन को समझते हैं। पेंडेमिक, वर्क ऑन द माइंड फॉर हैप्पीनेस इन आइसोलेशन। जो हमें एकांत जो खलता है उसको परमानेंट, उसको उसको किसमें, शाश्वत आनंद में कैसे बदलें। तो थोड़ा बहुत आज चर्चा कर लेते हैं मन की चर्चा कर लेते हैं। आखिर ये मन क्या बला है। तो भाइयों, द माइंड इज, today our topic is pandemic. Work on the mind for happiness in isolation. अब अंग्रेजी में शुरू क्या करूं, मजबूरी, फिर भी सुनते रहो। So work on the mind. So let us understand what is this crazy mind. There are different ways to understand. Mind is created when consciousness comes in contact with the matter or the material world. Does your house has any problem with coronavirus? Does your kitchen has any problem? No, they are material. So matter has no problem. Is your consciousness can ever be infected by the coronavirus or pandemic? Answer is no. Only when the mind is created. So first the mind is created, and the mind has two movements: consciousness to matter, matter to consciousness, consciousness to matter, matter to consciousness. What the mind is doing? Mind is a necessary evil. Why? It is essential because all experiences happen in the mind. Now see, we are moving step by step. I'm picking up a couple of the principles from the Eastern wisdom. I have nothing to offer. You see, so the mind starts working in duality, conflict all the time. Matter, consciousness, matter, consciousness. I don't like this food. Who is saying? Mind. I hate you. Now is the time to divorce. So mind acts like a living being. But it has to work in this duality and a conflict. Pick up one more understanding. When I say all experiences are happening in the mind, and all experiences constantly change. I love you. We have been living together for a couple of years. And the same mind says, now I hate you. And what I'm seeking, a permanent happiness. Where I'm seeking permanent happiness? In the world of change. And the mind itself is changing. How this mind can ever find happiness? I'm isolated. Who made me isolated? Because of coronavirus. So the fear is inside, isolation inside. What is that experience? It is happening in the mind. And the mind is subjected to change. And I'm seeking a permanent happiness. That is why our master says you have to go beyond the mind. Going beyond the mind is meditation, is mindfulness. Understand it clearly. So when the intellect is clear, convinced, conviction is there, that intellect will inspire you not to leave the practice until you discover that mindfulness state. So go a little deeper. How the mind is working. The mind works in the world of duality. It works with the likes, dislikes, pain, pleasure, profit, loss. Mind is like a pendulum. Pendulum. Huh? Many people say, this beard guy, I loved this guy. Now they say I dislike this guy. Mind. Mind is like a pendulum. So, mind is moving in happiness and in sorrow and in pain and in pleasure. The mind is constantly changing. I identify with the mind. So, mind is working on me. When the mind is working on me, it is known as the impure mind. So, you will understand this topic. You have to repeat this week again and again. So, okay. Now your mind says, okay, I can understand what you say. Mind is working on me. Still I'm stressed. Still I have problem. Still I feel isolated. So who is experiencing? Mind. No? Yes. All experiences happens in the mind. That is what we understood. So let us find the mind, where the mind is. Mind says, I'm unhappy because I'm confined in my house. I feel miserable. Come on, find out where the mind is. Inside? Okay. Where inside? Now, what is the point of wisdom our master teaches? It blows our mind. It blew my mind when I learned this and contemplated. I'm unhappy because the mind is unhappy. I'm miserable because the mind is miserable. How do I know? I know my mind. I see my mind is happy and unhappy. Do you see the mind is happy or unhappy? Yes. I'm not the mind. In the knowledge, in the wisdom, in the field of awareness, can I separate I from my mind, who becomes happy, who becomes unhappy, who enters into sorrow, who enters into happiness, who enters into pain, who enters into pleasure? It is my car. Car breaks down. Do I also break up? Do I need repair? No. My mind is an instrument. Here is my kid who is scratching. So, should I also start scratching because I'm my kid? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? When I experience happiness, it is the mind that is experiencing happiness. Play with him. Play with it. When I'm unhappy, it is the mind is experiencing unhappiness. I'm different from the mind. So when in the field of awareness, you separate that I, that consciousness from the instrument which is the mind, then where is your isolation? Where is your isolation? Isolation is an experience in the mind. Why it is an experience in the mind? Because it is craving for something outside. It wants to be with the world outside. It had been with the world for years until today. Did you get permanent happiness? Did you get permanent? No. Did I tell you the mind moves like a pendulum? Isolation. And it wants to move to the world of people, objects, and things, seeking happiness. Look at it. Look at it. How do you understand? When you have a clarity of understanding, then what happens? I'm isolated. This is an experience in the mind. I'm different from it. But it is pulling me, giving me frustration and anxiety. What should I do? Work on the mind. Don't work to challenge the isolation because it is an experience in the mind. It will trigger your mind. And what will say, oh, what will happen? Let me go out. Let me pick up a food from the restaurant. You see that? No, you have not to kill that isolation. You have to work on the mind that drops identification with isolation with the objects of the world is the subject matter of meditation and mindfulness. Are you getting it? Are you getting it? Play with the mind. Last thing, and then we will do. Today's meditation would be just like a play and a fun. What it means? Play with the mind. When the mind says, I'm unhappy, tell the mind, I refuse to be unhappy. You remain unhappy. Mind is an instrument. Do you see? You reach to that heightened state of awareness where you take over the mind. Mind? No. Mind says, I'm miserable. Mind is miserable. Refuse to be miserable. When the mind says, I'm happy, oh, stay with me. When the mind says, refuse to be, when the mind says, I'm miserable, refuse to be miserable. You take care of yourself. Do you see that? That is the state our great masters used to live. Last example I can give you, which you will understand it clearly before we go to the practice. Suppose you are an athlete. You are in a competition. You are running, panting, exhausted at the physical level, which you say, I'm the body, and you win the race. You are panting, exhausted, but the mind is inside. Happiness. I won. It is a sport. We have to work in the world, play in the world at every moment in life. Do you understand? That is the state of meditation and mindfulness you achieve in your life. Let us close our eyes. Let us start our journey of mindfulness. Eyes are closed. Do nothing. Watch your thoughts. Start treating the mind as an instrument from now, here and now. If the mind brings in any thought, ask the mind, what do you want? These thoughts are seeking permanent happiness, and the mind lives in ignorance. It does not know that permanent happiness cannot be found by the mind because it is changing, cannot be found in the world outside because the world is changing. So, what is the need of these thoughts? So, you become aware of these thoughts and the feeling and the sensations. What the wisdom will say, oh, wrong thinking. Mind is obsessed with the problem. So just you reflect on these thoughts. When I say let the thought come and go, it will not work. It has not worked. It may have worked for a little while. You have to apply the principles. And what is right thinking? I want to discover inner peace and happiness. You make your mind aware that the mind cannot find this permanent happiness. The mind running in the world cannot discover the permanent state of peace and happiness. So, and then you will see these thoughts starts dropping from your mind. See that how easy it is. How easy it is. You see that the first moving to the next step, the sense organ, through the sense organ, the mind indulges in the sense organs and with their objects and claim a false identity that I am the feeler, the toucher, the seer, the taster. That is why I gave you the step being comfortable. So, moving the mind on the neck joint. You're not doing anything. Why? Whatever you do will be in the field of the mind and the world. So I invoked the second step, major step of mindfulness, effortlessness. It's a knowledge practice. Move the mind on the neck joint. Be there. Be there and experience sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. आंखें बंद और गर्दन को देखें. देखना मात्र है, दृष्टा भाव. So you experience sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. Let me reveal that secret. Move the mind on the shoulder joints, कंधों के जोड़ों पर. संवेदनाओं का अनुभव, sensation, feeling the sensation. शिथिलता, being comfortable, and steadiness, sthirata. I'm speaking in both the languages. So, if your mind experiences a very low level of sensation, comfortable, and steadiness, it means the mind is working 90% still in the same way, and 10% it says, okay, you say it, so I'm doing it. Otherwise, I don't believe it. We have to make it intense experience. पूरे शरीर पर मन को ले जाएं, जोड़ों को देखें, संवेदना, शिथिलता और स्थिरता. Move the mind on all the joints of the body, slowly, gently, being there, just being there. Your mind is running fast. That's why I'm saying being there. Why the mind is running fast? Mind is working on us. When we work on the mind, We see the movement of the mind is fast, slow, gentle, and it is here and now in the body. You have an intense experience of being comfortable. You start experiencing the sensation and the steadiness. स्थिरता का आभास हो रहा है क्योंकि ज्ञान पहले था ना कि मैं मन नहीं हूं. बिकॉज आई हैव ए नॉलेज दैट आई एम नॉट द माइंड. सो बी केयर फ्री. मन से स्वतंत्र हो जाएं. जो विचार आ रहे हैं आने दें, जो जाते हैं जाने दें. वट एवर द थॉट्स, फीलिंग एंड द सेंसेशन एंटर्स इन टू द माइंड, लेट इट कम एंड गो. So it is with reference to the knowledge. What? Mind says I'm unhappy. Okay, but I'm happy. You remain unhappy. That is a knowledge part. That is an awareness. How can you practice to be happy when you claim that you are unhappy? But with that knowledge, with that awareness inside, that is why we say let it come and let it go. That is why I gave you a simile, standing across a road watching the traffic. Both are mind. इसीलिए मैं उदाहरण देता हूं, सड़क के किनारे खड़े होकर आने जाने वाले वाहनों को देखते हैं. तो हमारा मेंटल ट्रैफिक भी है ना, जिसमें वाहन आ रहे हैं जा रहे हैं, हम पीछे खड़े हैं. देखो, you will enjoy that state. And you are fully aware all experiences happening in the mind. And I'm not the mind. I'm not an instrument. How can I be a car? Yes, it is my car. How can I be my house? It is my house, no doubt. It is my mind. I refuse to be miserable. I refuse to be isolated in the mode of play and fun. But the mind does not understand it because of millions and trillions of impressions we have created our personality. So the master says we need a kind of purification. Oh, purification. I'm ready. Mind says I'm ready. And in the middle, it will say, no, I feel panting and exhausted. That's why I given that example. So look deep inside the forehead. You're looking in the space, and we purify the mind, even if it is pure. We make it more pure, and looking deep inside the forehead in the space, and keep looking into the space and start breathing short and quick breaths. Only chest moves. Don't pay too much. Don't give too much of effort. Just a play and a fun. जल्दी जल्दी सांस लेना शुरू कीजिए. छाती से लेना है और बाहर निकालना है मन को शुद्ध करने के लिए. In order to purify the mind. Continue. I can do it for 50 minutes, but I'm giving you hardly little more than a minute to do it. शांत हो जाएं. Just stop the breathing. The mind says you have new experiences. Let us settle down these experiences. मन कहता है कि नए अनुभव हो रहे हैं, बस ठीक है, उन अनुभवों के साथ हम चलते हैं. Let us move with those experiences and give it a direction. How? Move the mind on the head and the neck. Be there, feel the presence there, and experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Just maintain your awareness there. Now, the mind is pure means mind can look inside, can keep looking inside, and the mind can stay where we are saying it to stay for an extended period of time. सिर और गर्दन को देख जाएं. संवेदनाएं शिथिलता और अचंचलता का अनुभव करें. Move the mind on the right arm. You see that I'm linking the previous step with this step. To move the mind on the right arm, slowly, gently, with awareness, and experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Continue to be there. Check if the mind continues to be there. If it continues to be there, you have done this step at the highest level of intensity. And the mind still jumps here and there, low level of practice. And then you blame, no, this practice is not working. You are not working on your mind. दाएं हाथ पर ले आए मन को, वही संवेदना शिथिलता और अचंचलता का अनुभव. Move the mind on the left arm. Just check it again. We're going into a very deeper state. Deeper state does not mean the outer step are very heavy or light. No. What is your experience? Are you able to move and turn the mind? That is the key. And what we say in every meditation, here is a mantra. If you repeat it, you will find the result. Then the Google should have been always in meditation. All the mantras are there. Move the mind on the left arm, sensation, relaxation and stillness. बाएं हाथ पर भी वही अनुभव. Move the mind on the chest and the belly. Chest and the belly. You see that? You are checking, is the mind continues to stay on the chest and the belly? How do you know? If any thought comes, it has already distracted. It moves to other part of the body, it is already distracted. That makes the mind miserable. That makes the mind isolated. You experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. In order to become a master of the mind, I have to work on the mind in every possible way in a subtle awareness. That is what we are doing. See that? But we are not pushing the mind, not controlling. छाती और पेट संवेदनाओं का अनुभव, शिथिलता और अचंचलता. Move the mind on the right leg. So you were moving the mind on the right leg. Mind is constantly subjected to change. So what happens? You move the mind on the right leg. Before the mind goes to any thought, again you move the mind on the right leg. Again it goes to another sensation. You move the mind on the right leg. Mind never stops. So we understood its nature of change and we apply the same trick that the mind tricks us. That gives you a deepening of the sensation, relaxation, stillness. I know you understand that. Move the mind, दाएं पैर पर ले आए वही अनुभव करें बिना हिले डुले संवेदनाओं का चंचलता का स्थिर. Move the mind on the left leg. Now you may see, oh, the mind is still there on the left leg. Why it is still there? Because I understand the mind constantly changes. So give the mind a change. How? Move the mind on the left leg. Again, move the mind on the left leg. The moment the mind says, I have moved. Okay, no doubt, move it again. Understand. When you understand, I can promise you, you will sit in meditation for hours together in the very first lesson. Experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Move the mind on the entire body, from the top of the head to the top toes. Did you understand? And if you have really understood, your mind moves again on the entire body. It doesn't wait. That is the meaning of be there. Where? On the body. Mind is constantly subjected to change. And that movement, what the mind is saying, I feel good. So what do you say to the mind? I'm with you. You beat the isolation. You experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. So, in that state, the mind starts living within. Just experience. Ask the mind, are you living within? You are absorbed into the inner space, blankness, emptiness, darkness, whatever you want to say. I will agree with you. And from that space, you look at the breath. The moment you look at the breath, mentally say Shantoham. Again, we are fine tuning the mind. Why? I'm working on the mind. Don't you fine tune the car when you go for a service? And once you return, you start driving, you find, oh, I feel so smooth. Before we enter into the actual effortlessness state. So now look at it. The step. The breath goes in Shantoham, breath comes out Shantoham. The mind plays the trick with you, says, I'm doing it, and still it starts thinking. To drop that thinking pattern, Saans andar gayi Shantoham, bahar aaye Shantoham. So now when the breath goes in Shantoham, ask the mind what it means. It means I'm the peace. So now you are aware of the meaning in the intellect. That intellect cannot go anywhere. Then it moves with a conviction. Then it says to the mind, be there on the breath. The breath goes in Shantoham. Breath comes out Shantoham. The intellect raises one more doubt. Okay, you say I'm the peace, but where is the peace? So ask the intellect to look at the space every time you say Shantoham. The breath goes in. The moment you say, you have an understanding and you have an awareness of the infinite space. The moment the breath comes out, you understand I'm the peace looking into this space. You don't give a chance to the mind to start behaving in the same way as it has been behaving for years together. Because of those habits, tendencies, the mind is crazy after the world seeking permanent happiness. We are confined inside the home, and that is why we experience isolation. Use that isolation as an opportunity to move the mind within. Continue, Shantoham. Now you understand the deeper significance of Shantoham. Breath goes in Shantoham. One with understanding and looking into the space. It is so simple. What is that simple? I call you by your name, Ashok, means what? I know, I'm aware. So I'm asking you to look into the space. Our masters makes us understand that Shanti, that peace, is the form of an infinite space. And what is Shanti? Another synonym of Shanti is known as Sukha. The Sanskrit word Su means good, Kha means infinite space. Now from the Kha you have a word Khechari. So now I'm strictly adhering to the teachings of these great masters. I'm not going against. There is no way. मन जैसे ही सांस अंदर जाए शांतो हम कहा शरीर की स्थिरता बनाए रखनी है, हिलना डुलना बिल्कुल नहीं है, तभी सफल होंगे. सो सुख का मतलब होता है शुभ आकाश. खा मतलब आकाश और सु में सुख में जो सु है उसका मतलब होता है शुभ. तो मन जब शांतो हम कहे तो उस आकाश को देखे अंदर एंड बाहर. Maintain your awareness of the space. And now leave that Shantoham also. So what is left? The breath is going in and out. Feeling the sensation inside the nose. No change in the rate, in the rhythm of the breath. अब शांतोहम को भी छोड़ देना. तो बचा क्या? सांस अंदर जा रही है, बाहर आ रही है. अंदर जा रही है तो संवेदनाओं का अनुभव, बाहर आ रही है तो संवेदनाओं का अनुभव. सांस की दिशा और गति को बदलना नहीं. No change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Breath flows. So we give a taste to the mind, what it wants. What it wants change. Breath is constantly changing. We say, okay, mind, be there on the change. Why? Mind is an instrument. At the same time, you look behind that awareness of the breath. When you look behind, you find, you discover. And the intellect asks, is this transcending the mind? If you are aware of the breath going in and out and feeling the sensation of the breath, no change, effortlessness. You may become aware that you are actually not doing anything. That is another secret revealed by our masters. As long as you are the doer, you are the enjoyer, you are the sufferer, you identify with the mind and the body and the intellect. So, with that awareness, you drop that identification. The mind becomes crazy and it makes us crazy as long as you identify with it. So when you say to the mind, do nothing, and it starts doing something. When you say to the mind, today I'll be fasting, the mind starts dreaming of the tasty food or the food that you like. See that? That is why we have to use the method and the step that will help us to work on the mind. Continue. Word to continue effortless. But I'm not doing anything. Yes, I'm aware of the breath going in and out, feeling the sensation, no change. And at the same time, I look behind where it is happening. Container, seer, knower. Do nothing. Again, I'm stressing. Do nothing. When you do nothing, the mind stops being the enjoyer and the doer and the sufferer. You see that? That is the message the Master gives. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Take your time. So the knowledge coming from the doctors, do not touch your eyes. So we are not putting our hands on the eyes today and until this goes away. Open your eyes slowly. Yeah, external knowledge. We have to follow the knowledge what is coming from outside. So how are you, Samir?
Sir, the lower part of the body below my this below
Hips.
my stomach, below my stomach, it became very, very, very cold, as if someone has put ice on these my legs and this, and or means when you were saying go behind that, when you were breath, go behind the breath, no, all purple color was going on in my mind, like waves of purple color is going on in my mind. Nothing else was there. Nothing else.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Purple color indicates that it's a higher mind, heightened state of awareness. Wonderful.
Nothing else, sir. Nothing.
Wonderful.
Not
Wonderful. So, how are you, uh, Vaibhav?
Sir, it was totally blank and I'm feeling very refreshed.
Very refreshed. Why you have started working on the mind? When the mind says, I'm isolated, tell the mind, I'm not listening to you. When the mind says, I'm very happy, stay with me. Play with the mind. Don't allow the mind to play with you. Done. You always live into that state. How are you, sir? Ashok ji.
हाँ सर ठीक ठाक and relaxed.
Very good.
Shivam is also doing besides him.
Shivam, yeah. So, how are you, young engineer?
I don't have anything to say right now.
Don't say it. Very good. Don't say it. Pushkar,
But
how are you?
सर काफ़ी अच्छा था सर।
Happy Cheta.
माइंड
Very good.
रिलैक्स था, लेकिन सर नेक में थोड़ा वो दिक्कत हो रही है, पता नहीं क्या है।
कहना बार बार
अभी
करते रहने से ठीक हो जाएगा। संगीता क्या है?
अ, सर माइंड को पकड़ा आज, एक दो बार गया बाहर तो उसको वापस मतलब जबरदस्ती लेकर आई तो वो आ गया, आराम से आ गया
वेरी गुड।
तो
बहुत अच्छे, शांति में आ गए।
शांति आई।
वेरी गुड। हाउ आर यू, प्रिस्ला?
Good. I enjoyed knowing that the mind should automatically go from the head to the toes without thinking.
That's good.
That was very helpful. And my body it felt very warm and light. It was
Warm.
good.
That's good. That's a deeper experience. And where is our Paul is not here today?
He is doing income tax.
Oh, he's doing income tax. Okay. Income, not concerned about tax, only about income. That is
He's
wonderful. So